Hey, what is up? We are live. We are here with Steve from Fanspeak. How we doing, Steve?
Doing good, doing good. Just did a stream to do a couple drafts. Already, like a little less so about the rookies, which is why I think it's good we're talking about it because I think the next few days the news is going to really start flying about these rookie prospects. But a lot of news already coming out with the combine, with all the coaches and GMs doing interviews. So this is a fun time, and I'm glad we're doing this topic to talk about these prospects.
Yeah, I thought it was a good time to get something like this in because it's the only time we can.
Hmm.
But let's say hi to the chat. We got Pepper Tony, we got Losimo, we have Chris. But yeah, we like definitely got to get into like the a little bit of the free agency stuff before we start the rookies. But before that, we're gonna hit the intro.
Hey, hey, we're grinding through the torment. High volume, no management. Hey, hey, taming souls in descent. Grinding drafts through the abyss, no rest in our veins. Feel striking like lightning, flooding endless pains. From late season voids, he's dropping all the flames. Best ball legions unite, shattering the chains. Old school RP stacking fury, derailing trendy trains. Who is commanding the storm etched in our brains? Who? Hey, thunder in the names, claiming all the kills. Flames, names, games. Legion, wrath of fuse, stone age, torment remains. Best ball eternal, in remains infernal domain. Pterodactyl pigs, screaming, cayman chaos reigns. Fossil fury fuels the fire, drafted through the veins.
All right. So we got some news today. We'll just kind of scroll down this. The mock draft Hayden put out, like, I don't know about you. I'm going to do a mock draft, I think, tomorrow. Um,
Okay.
I have a thing that I don't think it'll happen, but it would be super fun, a trade. Uh, I might have mentioned it before, but I have an idea where I something I think could work out for Max Crosby.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think that it would be fun to do it. Although I don't think it's going to be super live to be right. Like these mocks at this point are just for fun,
Oh, for sure.
you
100%.
know. So like I'm going to have some fun with it. I think I might make it a recorded video. I haven't decided. I think I'm going to do that, and then I'll do my regular stream as well. But this had your Commanders trading down with the Rams, who have a few extra picks, so they
Mhm.
can get an elite guy because Cam Curl is going to be gone, and Caleb Downs, and then you still got Jeremiah Love at 13. That has to be best case scenario for a Commanders fan, right?
Oh, I think so because Love at 7 is it's a little rich, right? But Love at 13 and picking up an extra day 2 pick, that feels really good because
Yeah.
Commanders right now are without their second and fourth rounder, so they need some extra picks.
Uh,
And getting a guy like Love who could be one of the best running backs we've seen in quite a few years, but any which way, he's a clear first round talent, and they need that. They need some rushing consistency.
oh yeah, yeah. So in news, like officially, this was said about Brees Hall being tagged if not extended. Like Brees Hall has been pretty adamant about he doesn't want to sign there. So
I
like,
know, I
what
know.
what? Just say you're going to tag him. Don't play around.
Yeah,
Like yeah, we're tagging him because he doesn't want to be here. And then we got Mike Evans. Of course, they would like to have him back. He's been there forever, but like it's all about how much are they going to offer him,
hmm
and if he's willing to take that. And does he think they're a Super Bowl contender? Because like early in the offseason, we heard about him being a like wanting to play for Super Bowl. Stroud, like, and some of this is useful for the combine stuff too, like, and for the draft stuff, like CJ Stroud out of trade talks. Every team with a quarterback need seems to be interested in Malik Willis. Like,
they should because I think
yeah,
there's just such a drop off in potential quarterbacks out there.
yeah. And Raiders anticipate Crosby will remain with the team. I mean, that makes sense. And I've heard some stuff to where like the Steelers could actually move Fryermuth like in a reasonable manner. And if that happens, Darnell Washington becomes clickable.
Yeah, I guess I'm of the mindset because I think it was Hayden in a show last week talked about that and somebody
Yeah.
else also. But it's so Johnu is going to get cut. Like they can just save save like $8 million for cutting Jonnu. Connor Hayward is also a free agent. Even if you resign Connor Hayward, he is not going to step into like a number 2 role. And for as good as Darnell Washington is not, as fun as it is to watch at times, he's not a vertical threat, right? Like he can operate as a tight end like 10 yards out and in. He's not going to go downfield, go up the seam, stretch safeties. He's not going to get DK Metcalf any relief. Pat Freiermuth can. Like when the Steelers would actually utilize him in that way last year, he produced.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. And like with the league going to 12 personnel, number one, they need it. And number two, that's kind of big for this whenever we get to tight ends in this class, I think.
I agree.
But anyway, are you ready to get started with the RBs? I figure we'll hit RBs, then wide receivers, then we'll go tight ends. And if there's anything to say about quarterbacks, we go there. If not, we don't. And so I do have a show scheduled like for drafting at 4 or 5 your time, but like if I got to push it back, I'm not really time constrained here. Even if I had to just remove it, I don't really care. But we got this is PFF's rankings, which is essentially Trevor Sikkema's rankings. Neither one of us like completely agree with them. The Seth McGowan ranking is quite aggressive. Le'Veon Moss, I've seen some other people, like there's a guy I follow, NFL Draft Big Boards. I don't know if you've ever seen him.
Mm-hmm.
I generally like what he says. He really likes Le'Veon Moss. He's one of the only other people. I know you like Jay Knott. I really didn't. They kind of like him. But what we're going to talk about is like, what do we look for at the combine for running backs? And one of the biggest things historically has been like the speed score, right? Like, because they have like, not that top end speed is everything, but like you need, like, it's a height, weight, speed, and what speed score, like, do you agree that it's reasonably useful? Like it's not everything.
So I think speed score can be useful. I think the 40 time gets way overblown.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think the speed score, it's explosion. And another great example is this is where the jumps really come into, and I know the speed score is just like weight and 40-yard dash, but also judging a player's like explosion with their jumps, particularly like last year we saw this with Scattaboo. Like he didn't run at the combine, ran later and ran like, I can't even remember, 4.6, whatever it was. But his jumps were really good. And that matters quite a lot. One, like long legs or track background really help your actual 40 time. But jumps show your explosion, shows how you can, how much strength you have also. And that is more important for running backs, I would say.
Yeah. And I think that speed score, like kind of what I do is I look at speed score and then also look at the broad jump and vertical. And if they have explosion plus the speed score, like I'm pretty in on those players. And it doesn't mean it hits 100% of the time. Nothing hits. Like one of the worst speed scores we've ever seen was Kyron Williams. I actually have that right here because I looked up all the speed scores. Kyron Williams. So the average for an NFL starter is 100. Like 100 is like the bottom of what you really want. Usable is like 100 to 90. It kind of looks like 95 is kind of almost maybe the hard cutoff, except for some outliers.
Yeah.
But like Kyron down here at 82, like way, way down, like one of the worst ever. And then we have the year before that, we have all these players like the top, Deneric Prince. Like it's funny because like the top of all these lists are a bunch of the Chiefs bust. We have Deneric Prince, we have Isaiah Pacheco, we have, like it's a lot of the Chiefs bust at the top. But like after him, and he wasn't projected to go high, right?
No.
But then Gibbs, Bijan, Chase Brown, Achane, like all crushed it. Those two didn't really do much, but they didn't have a lot of hype either. And then Charbonnet, and then you got to miss once you get under 100. And like I mean, not that Keaton and Tank, you could argue, are fine, right? And they're close to that 95, and the ones underneath, they weren't really big prospects either. And then this year, which was 2024, basically everybody was bad, right? Like Tyrone Tracy's been solid. Vidal has eventually been solid. Ray Davis has been fine when he plays. Isaiah Davis, Halani almost cracked 100, and he's actually looked good when he played.
Mhm.
Corum's up there. Like you go to the bottom, Jawar Jordan, Schrader, Bucky Irving is another outlier.
Yeah.
But this is one of the reasons I was pretty out on both of those players. But then the situation was just so good there. And like I do believe Bucky had okay jumps and stuff, right? Like not elite, but okay. I can't remember.
Let me look that up real quick, just because it's been a minute since
Yeah.
I've looked up. But I do think, like you're pointing out, it's important, and it's like some teams obviously favor it. Like look at the Rams, Corum and Kyron, both guys under 100. They don't care.
Yeah.
And like you said, the Chiefs look for the guys with the highest
Yeah.
speed score possible.
Yeah. Because like Pacheco 118, and then the next year, Deneric Prince,
Yeah.
114, the highest one. Like back-to-back years, they just took the top speed score guy. And
Bucky Irving, actually his jumps were not good. So
okay, so
just across the board, yeah, he didn't show a lot of explosion.
Yeah, I mean which is crazy because like he is explosive at the point of attack.
I know.
Like it is kind of weird, but yeah, and then last year's class, just to kind of give you like to give an overall like arcane over the last few years, we have Bayshaw Tootin up here at the top. Like that doesn't surprise anybody. Montrell Johnson wasn't supposed to be like a high pick. I think he played a little bit last year. I think he got on the field for some snaps, like 10 or less. Like I'm pretty sure he got on the field at some point. But then like Hampton, Giddens, Judkins, like were all fine. Like Giddens was fine, I guess, but they didn't really need to use him, right? Like he didn't play bad, but he also Taylor got every snap known to man.
Yeah, I mean Abdullah got ahead of him, but I think that was more like just passing work. They would
Right.
like Abdullah as a passing down back. And of course Jonathan Taylor, just you don't want him off the field.
And Raheem Sanders, like honestly, when he got in there, he wasn't good, but he wasn't bad. RJ Harvey like was explosive but had no vision. Jaden Blue is kind of an outlier. He like but like there's a lot of really high speed scores, and this is like kind of the outlier class. Like overall, like Kyle Monungai, like all of these speed scores are like 95 plus, all of them, which is crazy.
No, that is very like I mean Ollie Gordon at 100, Taj Brooks 102, Caleb Johnson 100, like I mean Woody Martin under 100 was kind of a surprise, but
yeah, Martinez 105, Travion same number, Jarquez same number. Like all of these numbers just incredibly high. And it's weird because like they're one of the most disappointing classes, in my opinion, we've ever seen.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of it, and it does go to show what we've talked about. Like some of these second year or these rookie backs could go to situations where there's a second year back, and maybe that second year back just stays healthy now or has a breakout. Like somebody like Devin Neal with the Saints. Of course, if Jeremiah Love goes to the Saints, that's one thing, but Neal could have a breakout. I'm less inclined on Jaden Blue, but like the Chiefs, Rashard Smith, if they bring in just like Rico Dowdle or somebody like that, Rashard Smith could be that Jerick McKinnon role.
Oh yeah, that could easily happen. So move forward to this year, and what players are you like? Which running back do you think has the most like needs to do something? Like for me, I think the combine at the moment is probably the most important for Jonah Coleman, and And like what I mean by needs to have a good combine isn't necessarily they need to run a 4.3 or whatever. It's they need to be like prove that they kind of deserve where they're being drafted. And Jonah Coleman to me is clearly the RB4 in this class. Uh, and that could change. I think he's going to run slower. Like, I'm shocked that Underdog has him at 4.49, but for the over under, which is like, by the way, Price Picks has him at 4.53, which I think is like that's kind of what I think the top end of what he can run is. But like, I don't know where you feel. Like, I think a good number for him is like 4.56, 4.57. Like that's fine enough because he's a big guy, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think he's much more in line to some of the same comps that we were seeing for Scadaboo last year.
Yes,
the Dave Montgomerys,
exactly.
Right. Just guys like that who are not. Yeah, they're not going to run a 4.40. I would not expect that. So, I mean, if I was doing Underdog, I'd take the under on the 4.49. The 4.53 is kind of right, like you said, kind of right in the wheelhouse. So I'd feel good about the under on the 4.49. But I agree with you. I think Coleman needs I think he just needs to hit these benchmarks.
Well, he basically needs to hit the 50% rate like all time at running back at these drills.
Yeah.
Like he needs to prove that he's got the talent because I do think there's a world where he runs like a 4.62. And like if that happens, I think that he falls. And I think that it's more like he goes to like the late third, early fourth, kind of where Scadaboo went.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think he'll fall in ADP, just because there's going to be a lot of buzz surrounding it.
I think that's going to happen anyway because he's not going to run a 4.4, and everybody's going to be mad. Like I think he's going to fall no matter what.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
What I do think when it comes to these second and third round running backs, part of the other issue that hurt last year's guys and why, whether you're Team Scadaboo, Team Tootin, Team whoever, some of those guys got pushed down is because there were so many. So teams felt
yes, exactly.
The fact that you could get a guy like, Giddens and Neo in the 5th, 6th rounds and Monangai in the 7th, like most classes, yes, you'll find a Bucky Irving go to the 4, but that was because his numbers went down. Where I just feel like Coleman, Evan Johnson, and Price, they're the any which way they're the 2, 3, 4, I think. And I said on my show, I think probably at least 2 get to the 2nd round. It could be all 3, and probably one's a 3rd rounder. Just because, regardless of how these free agent running backs fit, there's still going to be enough holes out there.
Yeah, I just think that there's a chance that if he doesn't hit these thresholds, that he falls to like late 3rd, early 4th. Like even in a class, like you and I both agree, I at least think so, that he's not quite we were both very big on Scadaboo.
Yeah.
And like I think that he was just a clear better prospect, like in every facet. Maybe not speed, maybe not speed, but like as you alluded to earlier, like long speed is maybe the most overrated thing, not only for running back, but when we get to wide receiver, it's even more true there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
No, and I agree. Like head to head, I would take Scadaboo over Jonah Coleman. But it was also just like we've just seen that was also the fact that Scadaboo truly carried a team on his back, a team that was nowhere near talented enough to get as far as they did.
Right.
Where,
at Arizona State.
In Arizona State. And that was with Al Jordan Tyson down the stretch. They won the Big 12 and nearly knocked off Texas. And it was all in Scadaboo. I mean, the rest of that team is pretty bad. Like they're going to have an offensive lineman drafted here, but the rest of that offense is just bad. Like there's no really way to sugarcoat that. Where Washington, literally, John Coleman is a 1st rounder receiver. There's just more talent there, and they were just a mid-tier team. But I still think Coleman has starting capable running back, again, kind of in this David Montgomery tier.
I agree with that. Like I think it can easily happen,
Yeah.
but he needs to go to a team that will like has the spot for him as well.
And the other thing with Coleman is, while I think he checks out as a fine enough receiving back, he's not on the Scadaboo level, where Scadaboo is one of the better receiving backs that we see, particularly at his size. And yeah, like Jordan Tyson just wasn't there down the stretch. He helped him get enough wins early in the season to be in that position. But yeah, it was Tyson missed like the last 4 games of the year, 3 games, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So anything like I do think that Jonah Coleman, like even if he runs the 4.6, I don't think he's gonna jump like Scadaboo, but I think he's gonna jump well.
Yeah, I think he's got some strength. So I think the big thing for Coleman is going to be a little less the combine testing drills. It will be some of the running back drills.
Yes.
Catching the ball in the backfield to show that he can hit that benchmark.
And the change of direction stuff.
The change of direction stuff. That's very important for him.
Absolutely. But I do think that overall he needs to like not run slow. I also think that he kind of like, I know bench kind of doesn't matter for RBs, but he needs to not be near the bottom of the bench as well. like he doesn't have to be high, but he can't be like bottom 5 or whatever, because he's just a bigger guy, right? And strength is part of his game.
Yeah.
So like he needs to show like those things. I think that the combine and is very important for Jonah Coleman. Who is one of them that you think, like, who's your number one that needs to perform?
So for me, it's going to be Jadarian Price, just because he was always in Love's shadow. So this is the time to really show him side by side to Love, who's apparently going to run, which is shocking to me. And also Price got almost 0 passing work. So the passing drills could be the most important thing for Price. He needs to show some natural hands, some natural route running. I know it's only a handful of routes he gets to do. So this is just part of the process. They'll bring him into visits and his pro day and stuff like that. He'll need to show, but it's just more important to him just because the opportunities weren't there. So many times when he did play, like Notre Dame's up by 40, and it's just like, so he didn't even get chances to get the ball thrown to him. So I think those are important. And if he shows, like, on paper, he's also a great return man. He looks extremely fast. I want to see it.
He really does. And to your point, he had 13 targets over the last 2 years. 13. Yeah. Now, that wasn't because they don't trust him. That was because the other guy in the backfield is named. So, like,
pretty good.
Yeah, the guy's all right. But no, I fully agree with that, and I think that he's going to run really fast.
I agree.
I think that I think him and Jeremiah Love are going to run incredible speeds. Like man, like both of them before they're even with the defenders, like they just run by them, both of them, and it's consistent. Like it is insane to watch.
It's too bad we won't see Singleton also, because I think comparing those three's long speed would be really fun. Those have 3 of the best long speed in this class.
Right. Yeah, and I'm not really worried about Price's long speed at all. I think he's going to run. I don't know if he'll get in the 4.3s, but I think it'll be close. By the way, what do you think Jeremiah Love would run, like just off the top of your head?
I think low 4.4s. I honestly doubt any of these backs getting the 4.3. I mean, maybe like a Claiborne who has the track background.
I actually think Jeremiah Love like pretty easily eclipses the 4.40.
Really? It is also tougher for like bigger, more well-built backs, just because they're carrying more weight.
So building the highlight, like looking at the highlights and building the videos and stuff, like just how fast he pulls away from people.
Oh man,
like is insane. And it's not just linebackers. Like he's doing that to corners and safeties from other solid schools.
And what is interesting is this will be one of the longest runs we'll see of him that he doesn't do a hurdle in the middle of it. So
Yeah. Right. Like if they had the hurdles in like could you
he's the
like,
number one hurdler. I mean,
like he might be like Olympic level. Like maybe. Um but yeah, Jadarian Price, like if he has like and to your point, he needs to have a good combine, but I'm pretty positive if he has a solid combine, he is an absolute lock to go in the top 50.
yeah.
And if he doesn't, he just moves to the early third, kind of, or late
Yeah,
second.
I think, like I said, the 2-3-4 is some combo of Price, Emma Johnson, who you and I both love,
Yeah.
and Coleman, and very well could be that order. But that's why I think the combine is most important for these three backs for this reason, because it's going to be, and look, you could have a better landing spot in the third round than you could in the second round. Absolutely. We saw that with like Scadaboo and, like Travion Henderson, like Henderson went early second round, Scadaboo goes fourth round. Scadaboo has the clearer role. Henderson doesn't.
Right.
So, like landing spot will be the ultimate determinant, but I do think the teams who end up needing a running back on day two, these are the three backs they're deciding from, and how they perform this weekend or this week will be very important for this.
And I think, like, I feel very confident that if Price has an okay combine, like they're not even great, but just okay for what people expect, that he's going to be a Texan at like pick. I think it's like pick 40. They have a pick.
Yeah,
they have an.
Shocked.
I think they have an extra second or something.
I think you're right.
So, and that first one, I think Jadarian Price is like a perfect fit for the team, because like not only would he be just like it would free them up to be able to use Woody Marks and what he should be doing.
Yeah, the passing game.
So I think so. Even if he doesn't succeed, like if he's not like a complete liability in the receiving drills, and he's just okay at it, I think that's not enough to deter the Texans specifically. But maybe I'm wrong.
Well, and I think this is where things get interesting now. Like Washington currently right now does not have a second round pick, but if Washington doesn't get love in the first round, like that third rounder, if they somehow acquire a second round pick, yeah, they should be looking running back. I mean, I think that's a need. And I think you have these other teams like the Saints, combining with Kamara with a young second or third rounder. So guys like Price, Emma Johnson, Coleman could all be in the mix for those teams. So you have this window of teams. Chiefs are another one. I know your Chiefs. Everyone expects them to take Jeremiah Love, but if they don't,
I think everybody's wish casting it. I don't think they expect it. I think everybody's wish casting because everybody believes that Kansas City's this elite RB place. It's not. It's never been not since Jamal Charles.
Well,
or Larry Johnson, I guess.
I mean, Kareem Hunt's first year before he got cut, but
right, yeah. I mean, yeah.
But what I would say with the Chiefs is it's just the offense is so good. I mean, look how many touchdowns this version of Kareem Hunt got last year, and he was not good.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, the CEH attempt, which I'm still upset about because that draft, by the way, just to rant a little bit.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Oh no, do you know what we passed up in round 1 and 2? The both picks that I wanted.
Well, Jonathan Taylor was round 2 that year.
I mean, I loved Taylor, but that was also DeAndre Swift's year, right? That was the year he came out.
I'm trying to. Taylor was the same year as Dobbins and Cam Akers. Was Swift right?
I'm pretty sure Swift was with the CEH year. Am I wrong?
I mean,
maybe I'm getting my years mixed up, but I remember one year we took McCole Hardman over DK Metcalf. I was pretty upset.
That was rough.
I was pretty upset about that when it happened, and then I know that I think that DeAndre Swift was with CEH because I remember being upset about it. Anyway, uh, on to Swift was there too, says Lutz. Yeah.
Okay.
So moving on to another running back that I think needs to have a really, really good combine, and you just alluded to it, it's Damon Claiborne.
Hmm.
Like he's expected to run really fast. He has some gigantic holes in his game, like really big holes in his game.
Yeah.
And part of that is like you were just saying with Jonah Coleman, like he needs to do good in the drills with the change of direction stuff. Like if Claiborne shows any ability to do that, he's gonna be a very fun pick for a fourth. Like I think he ends up going like fourth round then. And if he doesn't, he may go all the way down to like the sixth round. Because like he's going to run fast. That's going to happen. As you were
Yeah.
saying, he has a track background, all of that stuff. Uh, his rushing grade is fine, but like he's a lot like Tootin in where he doesn't his change of direction stuff's not great, but when you give him a lane, he could absolutely house it.
Hmm.
So if he could show any ability to like cut more than what we've seen at Wake Forest, and I only seen like 3 of their games. It kind of looked like they just like their offensive line wasn't great. It kind of looked
No.
like, and like he didn't really have very. It was kind of like the Genty from this past year. Like what he couldn't do anything. Like so, instead of doing the Kenneth Walker jump backwards thing, he just kind of ran at him. Uh, and I don't which one is right. You know,
Yeah.
like both suck. Uh, So like I'm very curious on him in the drill specifically. I think he's going to be stiff, but if he's not stiff, it's very interesting.
No, I agree, and I think first the broader point is, uh, to me, we've a couple different tiers in this draft. Jeremiah Love's in tier by his own.
Yes.
Then the 3 guys, Price, Emma Johnson, and Jonah Coleman, I think are the next tier, and then after that, I don't, we honestly don't know who RB5 is in this class, and so it's really up for grabs. Like,
do you not think it's Katron kind of clearly?
Katron Allen is my guy, but like,
Okay.
look at the PFF rankings you just set up.
Yeah.
Others are definitely going to be of a similar vein. Like I know Lance Erline didn't give Katron the biggest, the best outlook. And even if Singleton, now I think Singleton would have killed the combine, but I don't know if I would have said he's RB5 just because there's like his vision is,
right.
Ray Charles-esque. It's just real, like he's so fast, so explosive, maybe the best receiving back in this class, but he just doesn't know how to make a cut. So yeah, I do think it's kind of wide open who RB5 is. I mean, my preference is Katron. I've just seen it for 4 years at Penn State. Him and Singleton have just really dominated. And while he doesn't have the explosion of Singleton, he's okay enough in the receiving game. Again, another situation where he never really had to do it. But just year after year of high level production in the Big Ten at one of the better schools. Even when Penn State lost their coach this year, lost their quarterback this year, Katron Allen was still getting featured, and he ended up getting more featured than Singleton. So there's a lot for me to like on Katron Allen, but I do think it's wide open after RB4.
Yeah, it really is. I do think that like Katron will end up kind of solidifying himself. Like I don't think anybody's going to have Katron under like 8. Like I think of that next tier, he's the one everybody kind of agrees is like in like near the top of that next tier, regardless of who they have. But like Claiborne has an opportunity to move all the way up.
Yeah,
Like
agreed.
Like I don't think it happens, but I think he has a lot to gain from the combine. And I even think that if he has a like not a great combine, like he's still got some physical skills that I think that a team will take a shot on at least during the draft, right? Like maybe not a high pick, maybe a 6th rounder or something. I think he's definitely drafted no matter what, but I do think that he can help himself. Like if he had an insane combine, like he goes out there and like he's really shifty. And somebody mentioned 3-cone earlier. Like basically none of the running backs last year did 3-cone. Like I looked like and actually wide receiver was even worse because wide receiver, it's been pretty much proven that the 3-cone is easily the best drill for them. And it's not even close. So nobody does it anymore unless they're going to be under 6.
Yeah.
Or under 7. It's under 7, yeah.
I think it's under 7, but
yeah, it's under
no,
7.
I agree. And also like they'll end up doing it at their pro days, but then those numbers
Yeah.
get, whether they're leaked or not, or pushed out or not. And some of it I get because and it's also you have the negative incentive because NFL Network, all they do is talk 40 times.
Yeah.
And so that's the only drill that you see every single drill of. And so it's like, even if you go out there and have a great 3-cone, it's not going to get talked about. So it's like not helping your buzz, your hype buzz at all.
I don't know. I personally believe, and I've been saying this, I personally believe if you sign up for the combine, you have to do every drill, no matter what, unless you were injured in the previous one. Like, I don't think you should be able to pick what you do. Or
Yeah.
I think if you're there, you're there. You have to do the whole thing. You don't get to go to a game and tell your coach, "No, I don't feel like playing this one." Rich tried that; it didn't work out very well. I don't understand why these people get to choose. Like,
well, and I also generally agree because it's I think there's just more fan hype than with it. I mean, these numbers matter to teams, don't get me wrong, but it's more and you heard that clip about Billy Bean with Keon Coleman. Oh, maybe we'll be able to get him now because he ran slow. Like teams and people say, oh, well, that should have shown Keon Coleman's a bust. We could name. Look at Puka's 40 time. Look at Cooper Kupp's 40 time.
It was like 4.6, right?
Yeah.
Or
like, does anyone care?
And Keenan Allen's was
a 4.7.
Yeah.
And he fell to the 3rd round, but he was 1,000-yard receiver as a rookie.
Yeah. Jarvis Landry was 1,000-yard receiver. He was a 4.8.
Yeah. So it's like
that 4.8 looks so much better than Restrepo's 4.8 or whatever. Whatever. Did he run? Was it a 5?
No, I think it was like a 4.8. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was like a 4.87. But like Jarvis Landry's looked slow, but it didn't look like Restrepo's looked really, really slow. Like that's the goal. Don't do that. So I'm assuming there's another player you want to talk about. You know a little bit more about him. But Jaden Ott, I think you believe will I'll just pick him for you because I think I'm sure you were gonna say him at some point.
Yeah, no, he's interesting. I do like seeing him this high in PFF ratings. I think he's a tough guy. For those who don't know, he started his career at Cal, not this past year, not the year prior, but so 3 years ago, he had a 1,300-yard season at Cal. Looked to be one of the best up-and-coming backs in the country.
Right.
Next year goes out, gets kind of banged up, never is the same guy, only has like 300-400 years at Cal. Somehow like that Cal team had Fernando Mendoza, still couldn't win football games. He transfers to Oklahoma and everyone thinks, okay, he's going to get another shot. He has under 100 yards for the season.
Yeah. So these are his PFF stats by year.
Yeah.
And he was awesome his first year.
Yeah. His freshman, sophomore year looked to be like the next best thing.
And then did he get hurt? He got hurt at the beginning of this season.
Yeah, and he was never the same. He kind of played through it. He missed a couple of weeks, but kind of played through it. And I can't remember the other back they had there kind of took over the role. And it feels like because so many people left that team. Fernando Mendoza, Jack Garendez, the tight end, Ott. Kind of felt like that team maybe had some issues going on.
I didn't realize he had 46 receptions as a freshman. Mm-hmm. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But he's also a guy as long as for best ball, I don't really see a reason in mixing him in until the combine happens. And if he has a good combine or we start hearing buzz that he may go round 4,
Yeah.
Like I don't really want much access to these guys that may not go round 4. Like I feel like Claiborne will. That's why I'm taking some. I think that McGowan has a small chance to. Uh, like I think there's a couple guys who have a small chance to. Those are the only guys I'm taking shots on. And like Jaden Ott for me, I kind of want to. I think that he could, but it's going to require a lot.
Yeah, and so just a couple things I want to say on Ott is he did go to the Senior Bowl this year, had a good Senior Bowl week, had a good Senior Bowl game.
Yeah.
I want to say he had more yards in the Senior Bowl game than he got all year at Oklahoma, which is not a great thing. But
no, he did because he had
like 74 yards or something.
yeah, he had 74 yards, right?
Um,
But he also missed until like near the end of the season, right?
yeah, yeah. There
Like
was,
from the injury from 2024, right?
it was. I don't know if it was the same injury or what happened. I mean, it just seemed like a mess. But
And
the
he
other
transferred. That's weird.
the other thing with Jay Knott is he's been on Bruce Feldman's freak list. Like he is a powerful back, has some speed. So this combine can be I think the Senior Bowl was the first first leg of his like reclamation tour. But this combine, if he looks good in the drills and also shows decent speed and explosion, teams could get interesting because, like I said, after those top 4 guys, it's a big shakeup. And Ott has, it's been a couple of years, but those first couple of years, he looked great. And scouts are going to go back and look at all those games for sure.
I mean, it's kind of the Ollie Gordon argument, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if he goes to a team that has a role that's reasonably open, like after the NFL draft, he's a guy I think I could be talked into after the draft, but until then, personally, I'm not going to be clicking him unless like he absolutely destroyed the combine somehow. Like that's kind of where I'm at, and I do think that he could do something. So, I don't really have anybody like. I mean, I guess Adam Randall might kind of need to have a decent combine too.
Well, I mean, clearly, if he's currently ranked at 317 and he's drafted 60% of the time in underdog drafts, that's not great.
Yeah, I mean, this is one guy's rankings, so
it is. I will say I'm not necessarily 317. I think Adam Randall I think he's a day 3 draft capital just because he's such an intriguing prospect, a 230-pound former wide receiver. Though he also has a lot of drops, so maybe why he didn't stick at wide receiver.
Right, and like he wasn't an elite running back, but he was fine. Right.
Yeah.
So not that I think he needs to have a really good combine or anything, but just a guy I want to shout out. Like there's 2 that I want to mention. Like we all know Mike Washington. Like I don't think he's going to run as fast as everybody thinks he's going to. He got caught on every single long, but that's fine. Like he's still breaking 30-yard runs all the time.
Yeah.
Terrian Stewart is like one of the most fun interior runners in the class, but that's all he's got. Like he's really short. He's really stout. Like at just the inside the tackle stuff. Like I'm not going to say he's nearly as good as this guy, but like he kind of reminded me of MJD a little bit. Like the way he ran on the interior. But MJD was a fantastic pass catcher, and this guy had 3 drops out of 7 targets or something.
Terrian Stewart makes Jadarian Price look like Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah. He had 9. He had 9 targets in college, and he had 3 drops.
Yeah,
that's like what we thought Tank Bigsby was after year 1. So like. If he I'm interested because I think all the RB drills he's going to look awesome at. But like I also think Stonehands is going to appear whenever all the other drills happen. And then the opposite of him, Desmond Reed. Like Desmond Reed, 175-pound, 5'8". Like this is like before the season. I'm very interested in his weigh in. There's been very few 5'8" or less running backs that have been good, but they basically used him as a wide receiver. Like in 2024 he had 70 targets, 51 receptions. So like it's hard, like he also had 900 yards rushing that year. And then his role got reduced. Maybe they were just worse. I don't know exactly what happened, but like his senior year wasn't near as good, or junior, whatever it is.
Yeah, he got banged up, and when he came back, they basically just saw him as just a receiving back.
Okay. Let's see. So he was a senior. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was checking.
So
Go ahead.
I have one, I think intriguing comp for Desmond Reed. I wouldn't be surprised if he runs faster, but you talk about, 5'8", sub 5'8", running backs.
And Terry Stewart, by the way, is 5'8".
A little different when you're 220 pounds.
Yeah. He is a bowling ball. Like, he is fun to watch. Like, I don't know if he'll be good, but he's fun to watch.
A guy in the same vein as Reed is another former Pitt Panther, and that's Dion Lewis.
Oh, yeah. And he's a wide receiver now, right?
6th-round back. Catching the ball out of the backfield. So that I think is kind of the career arc that Reed should probably be looking at.
Yeah, that would be awesome. The old Patriot. Whenever you said Dion Lewis, Dion Branch jumped into my head, who's a wide receiver in this class. So I lost it for a second, but yeah. Do you have anybody else you want to touch on out of all of these guys? Like,
so I do want to mention actually one of my favorites, Kaelon Black, is not there. I don't know why. His Indiana teammate Hemby is there. I don't know why Kaelon Black didn't get there
at the combine, right?
Yeah, at the combine. But the guy I want to mention is Seth McGowan, because like you said, he is getting a little hype, a little buzz. I don't personally see it.
I like him. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I like him.
He's also like 25.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, he not just like the legal issue in his past, but he actually has a very similar track record. The year before this year, him and Mike Washington were on the same team, New Mexico State, I believe.
Yeah.
Mike Washington kind of outplayed him. They both go to the SEC, and Mike Washington outplays him again. So give me Mike Washington, who's like a year younger, doesn't have near the off the field issues, and has outplayed him the last 2 years.
Yeah, like I do say that I like him, but I still have, like, my rankings still have Mike Washington like ahead, and like I should probably move Singleton to where Randall is, honestly, and like move all of them down a little bit. Like I should probably do that. Like, Randall is just such an intriguing prospect. Like, like I'm very curious on what he does. Like, if he goes to the combine, he probably has the most to gain at the combine if like those rankings are at all right. Because if he goes out there and runs decently and he actually shows he can catch the ball and he has some change of direction, like, he becomes from player 300 to player 150 probably pretty quickly, because it's a very interesting profile. Yeah. And one thing NFL coaches love is interesting profiles. Right.
Well, and he just potentially has a skill set to be a pass down back, which, a lot of teams need.
Yeah. All right. Are you ready to move on to the wide receivers? All right. I'm going to hold on. All right. Go ahead and name somebody. I'm going to set up the timestamp real quick.
Well, might as well start with the top, Carnell Tate. He's I don't know if you've heard if he's doing all of the drills, because it sounds like Lemon is not doing the workout drills, just doing the positional drills, and Tyson probably skipping all of it.
I think I've heard that he's thinking about doing all of them, but I don't know if that's
I think
true.
If he does, that'd be very smart. That could cement him as wide receiver 1.
Yeah. I mean, he has not, like, I actually worry about Mekhi Lemon's like 40 time.
I agree. No, and
like, do you say he's not going to run?
Well, the quote that I saw, I think it posted late last night, was Lemon is expected to do the positional drills, and it felt very specific, saying that he's doing the positional drills.
Well, so that's something, like, watching his tape, I think he could be a high 4.5s, like a
Agreed.
4.57, 4.5. And I don't think like I'm not saying that's negative,
No, no.
but with the way that the average fan views things, that's negative.
Yeah.
And he's got so much hype right now. Why would he ruin his hype? Uh, like I already placed a bet. Like underdog has his number of 4.47, which I've
Yeah.
already bet slower.
Yeah. And I'm going to, again, guess that he does not actually run.
Yeah. Just like Singleton. Singleton has a line.
And, here's the thing. That's wild.
Yeah, right. Like, why? Why'd you put us? Like, honestly, it's kind of like maybe I should use it as a free square to just bet like $1,000 on Coleman to be under 4.49.
Yeah.
I don't like big bets like that. I don't make them, but like I feel pretty confident that Coleman's not over a 4.49
No.
or under.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just looked up because the guy that Lemon gets most comp to is Monroe St. Brown. And of course, this was at a time when I believe there was no combine with the COVID and everything. But his 40 time at his pro day was 4.61. Now, that's probably the area that Lemon's in. Now,
Right.
This is the concern with Lemon is he's basically having to break every benchmark. And Amon-Ra did that, but Amon-Ra was a 4th round pick.
Yes.
So you're taking a guy in top 15. And I think he's worth it. Don't get me wrong. Like I 100% would do. I honestly think what we will get indication is his actual height, because he's listed at 5'11". He might be closer to like 5'9".
Well, I'm also like it's also his weight.
Yeah.
If he's under if he's not 195 and he's 190, that significantly changes. Like I don't think like if he weighs in at 200, I'm like all in.
Yeah.
Like I don't think he will. If he weighs in at 190, I'm already a little skeptical on him. I have him as my wide receiver 3. And if he's not 5'11, like, and all of these things are they've kind of been questioned. And you watch the tape and like he definitely doesn't look super tall and he doesn't look super big.
No.
He doesn't ever really break arm tackles. Have you noticed that? Like he like kind of breaks them and gets tripped up like at the end of it. Like he's always like fighting through it, but then falls over.
Yeah, I mean he'll break corner arm tackles in college, which many of those guys. This is not, Derek Stingley trying to tackle you, or like top end corners. So
right,
just a big difference. And look, I really like Mekhi Lemon. I'm not trying to knock him, but these numbers, and this is why, like it's probably good for him not to work out, because let's say he comes in. Let's just say he comes in, 5'10", 192. Yeah, 100%. Let's say he comes in 5'10", 192, not totally off the mark, but a little lighter and lesser than we want. And then he ran like even though, like you said, like a 4.57. That's a lot of question marks all at once.
Well,
if the numbers come in now and then he runs a month from now, that can split it up a little bit.
Yeah, like what is Amon-Ra, 6'1"?
He's 5'11" and a half.
Okay, so he is 5'11" and a half. No, 6'1". 6'1".
I have no idea why PFS says that. I just looked up his mock draftable. It says 5'11" and a half.
Well, maybe he's grown. Maybe he wears platform shoes now. I don't know. I was thinking that he was 6'1", but
I thought he was 6 foot. So 5'11" and a half is, because I think that's what USC used to list him at.
I mean, let's be honest. Like if Lemon's 5'11", I like it's fine. I don't love it. I don't love it. I don't love it. But he's also
concerned if he gets lower than that.
Yeah, I mean, he's already kind of pigeonholed like into. I think he's going to be pigeonholed almost into slot only if he's I think at 5'11" you can split some people outside, but if he's down to like 5'10", even like some people even say he might be like 5'9" and a half. And if he's like that, like there's no way they're going to put him outside.
Yeah. Well, and especially if you don't have speed, like the like receivers who can play outside under 6 foot are usually speed guys.
Yeah, and like this is the whole point. Like there's actually several wide receivers specifically that we need these numbers.
Yeah.
Denzel Boston's another one. Like I expect him to be super big, but if he's not 6'4" and he's 6'2", huge deal,
Hmm.
right? But like Cardinal Tate, supposed to be 6'3", 195. Like that's kind of thin, but like he's I I'm I'm gonna be shocked if Cardinal Tate doesn't run sub 4.5.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, he's got
And
great long speed.
his long speed's good. He's like one of the cleanest catchers of the ball that I've seen, like since basically JSN. Like shocker, another Ohio State guy. You know, Buckeye being awesome at receiving. You know, so yeah, Mekhi Lemon definitely needs to pass the height, weight, speed, like the height and weight test. And I think that the smart thing is to not run because at that size, he needs to be fast, and that leads me to a guy, Zachariah Branch. He's smaller in both, supposedly.
Yeah.
He is a fantastic return man. Underdog has him at a 5.35, and I don't see that at all.
Wait,
I
a 4.35?
4.35. Yeah, I said 5.35. Yeah.
I was like, I'll take the under every time. 5.35.
By the way, you know Caden Proctor.
Yeah.
It's Prize Picks has him at a 5.03, and I'm smashing that over.
That's a good bet.
Yeah, like the guy's 360. I like a lot of offensive linemen run like 4.9, but those are the super in shape ones.
Yeah.
Caden Proctor not
Not
very in shape. Like they're like, we hope he comes in at 360. Like that like JC Latham last year. But on to this. Like Zachariah Branch, if he doesn't run under 4.4, it's a huge red flag. And I don't know, like, because of his game, because a lot of his, like, I think that a lot of the reason he's going to get high capital is for his return game stuff.
Yeah.
And not as much as a wide receiver. And I do think that although as a wide receiver, the 40 speed doesn't matter that much. And it's not everything for a returner, but it does matter more for a returner. Like in my eyes, I don't know. I don't really have data or anything, but I do think that that's how people will feel about it.
I think it helps. I think the other thing for Branch is honestly kind of similar to Lemon is regardless of, I mean, not regardless of what he runs, but whether he's 4.38 or 4.42, 4.45 even, honestly, the weight, like, is he coming in, 175, 180, or if he comes in like 190, 195 and still like runs a 4.42, I'd rather have them than 175 and a 4.37,
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because he's just not going to play at that weight. So then you're just cutting weight to get an extra 0.3 of a second off. Like, I don't care about that.
Yeah, there's only so many people like Tank Dell that can be good at that weight, and Tank Dell hasn't been healthy at that weight.
Well, and that's the thing. If you try to play at that weight, you get hurt. I mean, we see this with a lot of guys at that size.
Yeah, like one of the only ones to not get hurt is Devonta Smith. Really,
yeah.
Like, he's like the golden goose here, right? Like he's the one. And I remember those talks coming out for him. Like, is he too small? Like Deshaun Jackson also, he only got hurt basically once on the that one play that everybody remembers.
Mm-hmm.
Which was honestly a freak accident. Like,
sure. Like, I mean, there's always going to be exceptions to the rule, but the other thing with Branch is he's not like a vertical speed guy like Deshaun Jackson. Almost all his production is screens and slants, so he's going to take hits.
Yeah, exactly. So like Zachariah Branch, I have his stats in this page. It's just easier to do it over here. But like, because I have the yards per route run and stuff. So like 2 years ago, he only had a 1.57. Like, and in college, that's not great.
No.
And 20% contested catches. We could look up the number. I think he only had 5 attempts or whatever. So like you can kind of throw that out.
Mhm.
But I know 20 missed tackles forced last year is a lot, but like it was 81 receptions. And you look at Eric McAllister, who had 27 on 71, and he's also way bigger. And same with Omar Cooper Jr. Like he had 27 on 69, and he's way bigger too.
Well, Cooper Jr. is a better comp because they both run so much out of the slot, and
Right.
Cooper dominated that.
Right. But like I'm just saying, like I worry about a lot of Zachariah Branch's stuff. Like, and you agree, like
Yeah, it's way
and
more height.
yeah, I know there's a lot of people that are very like I don't like the jitterbug guys. Like I was gonna be honest, I don't like the jitterbug guys very much. Maybe that's bias from being a Chiefs fan and watching us fail them over and over and over again. Uh, like, I mean, Worthy may be in this mold here pretty soon. Like the
I think
thinner guys, but like he's not the jitterbug kind. He's
no,
just a
Worthy
straight line
can
speed.
do it all. It's just he needs
Yeah,
Travis Kelce not to hit him.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. But like you got Sky Moore, we traded for Tony and
Yeah.
McCole Hardman, right? Like, and all of them fail. Like, and
Mhm.
one of my like I never really liked DeAnthony Thomas, who was that kind of guy, because like he was also a read guy. Like maybe it's just, but like you look at other teams and there's only a few of them that work. Like Shakir is awesome,
And
and
even
he's like,
still, Shakir is much bigger.
yes, he's
He's like he makes guys miss, but he does it much more closer to like Omar Cooper Jr. Like that's
exactly
like Cooper. Shakir's like Cooper Jr.'s like midpoint. We're obviously hoping for more, but if he's Shakir, that's a good career. But it's Shakir's bigger, tougher, more physically sound.
yeah. So name somebody else. Like I wanted to call him out specifically. Go ahead and name somebody else that you think needs to have a good one.
So I do think Concepcion needs a big one. He needs to run fast. He
too.
needs to look good.
He's also in
He's also in this like I
He
want to
needs
see
to-
those numbers be checked. Like if he comes in 5'9", 175, yeah, I'm no longer is he a first rounder for him. I actually think he is like to me, he actually looks taller than Lemon. So like I believe his 5'11" more than Lemon's personally.
Right.
That's
I
gonna
would
be
agree with
so
that.
hard to judge, but I will be interested to see that. And then I do want to see some juice. Like he needs to show like he has some big playability if he wants to maintain his current draft capital.
I mean, part of that is because like Concepcion he looks leaner
Mhm.
and Lemon looks stronger. So
Yeah.
like that kind of makes you look shorter, like aesthetically. But like that means that the weight should be higher on Lemon, right?
Yeah.
Like because his like it is. So like not by a lot, but 5 pounds of muscle on 190 is a bit of size, right?
Yeah.
So like it could just be that. But yeah, Concepcion, like I do think that they're like the best drill at the combine for wide receivers is the gauntlet, right?
Yeah.
And he is the kind of guy that like he's dropped a lot of balls every year. And if he goes through that gauntlet and doesn't stay online and drops a bunch of balls, there's going to be a lot of questions. Like, I think that not only the like height weight stuff, but like, and I'm going to say this for a lot of players. Like, I think the gauntlet for him is pretty important. Because like, I think that people will overemphasize how important. Like, and if he's successful at it, let's say he dropped 2. Like, I'm saying like dropping 2 of those balls sometimes like they can be chalked up to other reasons.
Yeah. There's
Like,
a lot of bad quarterbacks throwing you balls there.
yeah, and like if it goes behind you, like, and they tell you if you're not going to get it, just let it hit the ground and readjust for the next one.
Mhm.
And like if he lets it get to him, like I think that'll be a negative trait towards him from people, right? But I don't know. I'm curious how the gauntlet goes for Casey Concepcion quite a bit.
Yeah, I think, and not just the catching of it, but I do want to see him. And it sounds easy, but running a straight line down the line is so key because his route running is going to be a calling card for him.
Yes.
Um, and honestly, like even the other route running drills, I want to see crisp cuts. I want to see
Right.
good fluid movement. We saw that a lot more at Texas A&M. His first couple years at NC State, he was very much a gadget guy, very much in the Zach Branch category, almost exclusively in the slot. Didn't get a lot of downfield stuff. And this past year, he transferred to Texas A&M. We saw a lot more, so that was promising, and that's why one of the reasons I'm more bullish on him. I do want to see him catch the ball cleaner and better, but I just feel like there's a chance that he is this whole package as a vertical and slot guy.
Yeah, and like I would love to see him be able to go outside here and there as well. And
Yeah.
if he goes to the Rams and gets to play the slot, like intermixed with Puka, like and Devontae, like that is literally the perfect situation for him, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
You're referencing Hayden Winks
yeah.
had him in his mock as the Rams' second pick, and it would make sense because he could be the vertical shot guy that they were hoping Tutu Atwell would be, and then mixing the slot some. Yeah.
Honestly, the perfect spot for Omar Cooper as well. Like I think both of them could be perfect in that situation. So you have anything else on Concepcion?
Not really. No, he's just somebody that I think we're going to want to see just because he's had a weird career trajectory. Because even at Texas A&M, Marcel Reed is no one's expectation of a pro level quarterback. So,
all right, we're going to move down the board a little bit and go to one of my guys that I like, Bryce Lance. This is a rare case, 6'3", 210, basically. He had an incredible 2024 season, like just crazy. It was like 21 yards per route run or whatever. But like, he's one of the very few cases that I do think he needs a big 40. Like,
for sure.
Like, I do think the 40 overall is overrated. I've seen some places project him at 4.5. I don't like that. If he's 4.5, the game he has to me isn't going to work. I think he needs to be low 4.4s, like not even like in the 4.4s, like 4.43 or less, because he was just beating people downfield. He's really good at like tracking the ball and stuff, but he was also at an FCS school where the defenders weren't near as good either. Yeah. So like whenever he takes the step up from FCS all the way to the pros, like he's going to need that speed, I think, to get there. And the contested catch stuff for him was fine, but like
what's he being contested against is the issue.
Yes, exactly. Like I don't think that you can use those numbers in a way that matters, right?
I agree.
So like, yeah, his contested catches was 66.7 and 61.5 on 8 contested catches and 16. So having 16 contested catches on 75 so 16 contested catches on 75 receptions in an FCS school is maybe a red flag as well, right? And that could be a sign that the 4.5 is correct. But I do think that if he can run a mid, like even like a 4.44, like that makes it like at 6'3", 210, 4.4 is awesome. And it would be really good for him. And if he runs a 4.53, like the projection on Draft Buzz is, I do think that he's like a 5th or 6th round pick. And I think that if he runs like what I think he's capable of, like a low 4.4, I think he could slide in to like the early 4th, maybe late 3rd. Because these X receivers that go deep, we've seen teams overpay for him for 3 or 4 years in a row now.
Yeah.
So I think that the combine for him is gigantic.
Well, and just because I wanted to bring it up, this is obviously the clear comp. Christian Watson,
Yeah, the guy that went to not only did he go to NDSU, also he also wears number 5.
yeah.
He's actually on the thumbnail. I don't know if you've seen the thumbnail.
I saw it, but I missed connecting that. But
yeah, it was like he was one I was going to bring up, and Coleman was another. I didn't know who you were going to bring up, so I just used 3 of them. I was going to.
And so just for a comparison, I'm reading off Mock Draftable right now. Christian Watson, 6'4" and 1/8, weight 208, wingspan 77, which is also important.
But wingspan does matter for him as well.
His 40-yard dash 4.36, vertical jump 38.5, broad jump 136. That was a 98 percentile broad jump, 82 percentile vertical jump, 91 percentile 40 time. That's the kind of stuff that
he needs.
Lance needs, because unlike for instance Denzel Boston or my guy Elijah Surratt, these taller receivers, those guys we know they can be red zone demons. I don't know if I trust that with Lance. Like Lance, it's like vertical shot, sure, but it's who's he playing that vertical shot against? So like you said, like his long speed matters way more than even Boston's long speed
and I think if he runs a 4.5 like that place has, like Boston's going to run faster than that, I think.
Yeah.
So
agreed.
I like Lance a lot, but I'm definitely very out if he runs a 4.5.
No, that is my concern with him. I don't see him in Christian Watson was obviously a high 2nd round pick.
But Lance, he had insane, what was his total RAS? I'm going to look it up now.
Have to be extremely high.
Because I think it was 98.
Yeah.
9.98. Yeah. Let's say that Bryce Lance gets up to 9.5.
Oh,
I think huge. That's fine, right?
No, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's fantastic, right? That's 95th percentile and all that. So he needs to have something like that happen.
Yeah, he needs the athletic profile more, because I don't think he's got the nuanced skills that like a Boston or Surratt have in the same kind of role. Yeah,
absolutely. So that's something I'm personally rooting for, because I like the guy. All right. Now,
I did want to shout out, just because you scroll down for it, but I'm not really I don't think I can do it in Virginia, but props for Brennan Thompson is probably the 40 time guy you should be targeting.
His it's 4.32 on Underdog right now.
I mean, he can fly.
Where's he at?
I saw he was near Lance.
This guy had a really insane 40 time listed too. Marion Brown.
Yeah, LSU has some athletes. Chris Hilton is another one as well. So it's a little higher. I want to say 1.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to run fast.
Yeah. He had incredible production. It was all vertical production, big time. He's smaller, but this is the difference between him and, Lemon is a much better route runner, don't get me wrong, but Brennan Thompson can play a little outside because he's just so fast.
Yeah. All right. Who else do you want to talk about at wide receiver? Anybody specifically?
Well, I think we should talk about the Indiana pair. We're both very high on them.
And I have Surratt at 7 and Cooper at 5, and I think you're more
essentially flip it.
You actually still have Surratt ahead.
I do, and this I'm also projecting it. This is not I think Cooper goes higher than Surratt in the draft. I think Surratt has better fantasy value, just because touchdowns
Okay.
matter so much.
Okay. That makes sense. I think that Cooper's like I do agree with that. I think he's the safer fantasy pick. I think Cooper is the bigger upside pick for sure.
Yeah, and also I'm talking just underdog. Like if we're talking drafters, DraftKings, full PPR, Cooper
Yeah.
could just rack up catches.
Yeah. Yeah, I do agree with that. So let's start with Surratt. Uh like for me, I I worry about his speed. Uh and he's one of those guys like I don't think he has to run fast.
No,
He just has to run like in the 4.6s or better, right? Like because he's really good and I do think that I kind of think that for him specifically, and there's a couple wide receivers like this in the draft. I kind of think Lemon may be one too. They need to land with a quarterback who is a precision passer. Like if they land with Kyler Murray or Malik Willis, like all bets are off. Uh, which is, by the way, if Malik Willis lands in Arizona, I am putting Trey McBride in the middle of the third round. I'm moving him to like pick 35, probably like pick 33. I might even move him behind Loveland. It's that like to me, it's that bad. If Malik Willis is there, I don't know what you think.
I mean I'm definitely low on McBride just because
I'm already low on him. Yeah,
yeah, I mean so much of it was just such a
yeah,
unsustainable volume last year. You know, Jacoby Brissett averaged 40 attempts in his 12 starts last year. That's just not sustainable.
yeah. Not at all, not at all.
You know, so
But yeah, so I do think that Surratt has to land with somebody with a precision passing game. Honestly, like Mendoza, right? Like if in the third round they just take Surratt,
yeah,
awesome. Like that's like best case scenario for both because they've already got the connection, and I think that third round would be fine. I think he's an adult version of Jack Besh, and I like Jack Besh last year. I'm willing to say he just wasn't fat. Like he just doesn't have the ability to get open in the NFL. Sometimes that's a thing. And he struggled in college getting open, and I do worry a little bit about that about Surratt. So that's why I want to make sure he has like an okay speed, but
yeah.
it doesn't need to be great, right? Like it just needs to be not bad. It needs to not be Restrepo or Jarvis Landry.
Exactly. And it's to what we talked about earlier. I mean, you look at these guys because he's listed, 6'2", 210 pounds.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
I'm glad I
wow.
have. By the way, I only have 3 shares of CMC, and all 3 have been guests that wanted me to take them.
That surprises me.
What I'm out.
No,
Like
the release of Trent Williams, because it just feels like the 49ers are just all in,
if that happens, like everything's on fire there.
I mean, I get it. He's a 38-year-old offensive tackle who was drafted in 2010. He's like, there's only 2 potential starting quarterbacks who were drafted before him, and that's a quarterback. Like it's wild, but they better have a plan. That's all I know.
So let's sidetrack our little talk then for a minute. Like that, I don't know if he'd be willing to go to a bad team, but a lot of bad teams really need a left tackle right now, like the Raiders, and they have a ton of money.
Yeah.
Like, do you think that Williams would be willing to sign a 2-year giant deal to a bad team? Or do you think that he would only go to a team like Kansas City on a cheap contract? Because that would literally be the perfect fit for Kansas City. Like, as a Chiefs fan and all that, like, yeah.
Oh, for sure.
And if they release him, like as Pepperoni's saying, like, definitely need to look up that stuff. But yeah, Like that would if,
Well,
if something like that happened, I'm instantly back in on Jeremiah Love to Kansas City. Like because
so
I don't think we have a way to get a left tackle basically.
so just to clarify, like the June 1st things, you can release two players now. You know, at the start of the league year, release two players now and designate them as June 1st cuts. They are free to sign with any other team at that point. The team would not realize the cap savings until June 1st. So,
Okay.
that's the way that works. You can only do it for two players.
How do void years work, by the way?
Void years, it depends on when the void date is. Like sometimes it's early, like Debo's was a couple days ago. Most are right around the start of the league year.
February 10th, contract voids on the 5th day of the waiver period in 2027 for Trent Williams. So for this year, they would incur 34 million of dead cap on a cap number of 38 million. That seems really silly.
But if he's designated as a post June 1st cut,
It's only 4 point. Yeah.
They would save 25.5 million.
Yeah.
But they don't realize that savings until June 1st. So I still agree it's kind of weird.
Yeah, that's right.
So because that does help you like re-sign your sign your rookies and stuff like that. But the other thing is why I'm shocked is the 49ers are currently, 41, 36 million under the cap, depending on how you count the numbers. So they actually have decent cap space, and that's before Brandon Ayuk. Like Brandon Ayuk himself is going to save the team money because his guaranteed money is like voided.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how that works, because it's just a weird situation.
And there's not a huge left tackle market in this free agency.
No, there's not. So it's not like they're just trying to get younger with it.
Yeah, I would love to see Trent Williams in the free agency market. I mean, if we could get Williams to the Raiders for Genty and Mendoza, like I don't know if he would go there. And maybe if he gets released, he just retires. I mean, you don't know.
Yeah. No, I think that is
like at 38, wanting to like change teams, move your family, all that. Like he's made a lot of money.
I mean, where he'll probably go is the Rams. They just had Rob Havenstein retire.
Oh yeah, good point.
They have a lot of money. They're all in. Sean McVay was in Washington with him.
That totally. I mean, that's like, why not build the super team when you can build the super team? Yeah. All right. Back to the point at hand. Elijah Surratt.
So what I was saying is we look at his size, and yes, we want to see him get in this ballpark of numbers, but 6'2", 210, 215, whatever. That's extremely comparable to the guys we talked about earlier. Keenan Allen was 6'3". Cooper Kupp is like 6'3". Puka or Kupp's maybe 6'2". Puka's like 6'3". And also Devontae Adams. Adams is like 6'1.5". None of these guys were first round picks, second, couple thirds, and Puka was a fifth. But they're all the same they're some of the best technicians you'll ever see at the wide receiver position. And obviously that's high praise. But like I said, these are in the same draft capital range. It's not like I'm comparing them to Malik Neighbors and guys like that.
So I think he's going to be what, late 2 to 3rd.
Yeah, probably? I think mid to late 2, because I also think it's also like, look, if the Bills don't take a first round receiver and make a big splash, like Josh Allen could like a red zone weapon like Elijah Surratt. 49ers love, Kyle Shanahan loves route runners. So those types of teams could look at him in the second round, mid to late second round. But yeah, second, third round. And Pittsburgh has a connection, like you said, the Raiders. So, but for me, the big thing is for him to hit the benchmarks. Also, I care less about the 40 time and honestly more the jumps. I want to see at least decent jumps. And the bigger thing is the route running drills. I want to see him have a good gauntlet drill, look good in all the routes, because that's what's going to matter. That's what's going to make him money. He's never going to be a vertical threat. He's like we can all recall like Puka having a deep catch here or there, but 90% of Puka's, like we went over this the other day, last week, Puka's production, his ADOT is way lower than Devontae Adams. Why? Because he's all intermediate.
Right.
And that's going to be Surratt's life. And it's the same with Keenan Allen. It's always been the same with Keenan Allen.
Yeah,
Mike Williams was the deep threat. Keenan Allen was the 10-yard guy.
Yeah, and it makes sense whenever you don't have the height, weight, speed profile to be that, because like you're creating separation by like putting your foot in the ground and stuff, and it gives the corner less time to react if the ball travels less distance, right? So like it just makes sense for a player like Surratt to do that, and like that doesn't have to be a slot player. Like a lot of people think that has to be a slot player. That could be an outside, like we seen like Jordy Nelson was like, he was actually fast.
Honestly,
there was
Devontae Adams, like Devontae Adams,
Adams.
He'll have a one every now and then, but it's usually he's more intermediate. That's why the Rams are probably looking for a vertical threat. Yeah.
And then the other Indiana wide receiver, Omar Cooper. I do agree. I think he's going to run really fast, faster than most people think. I think he's going to be a low 4.4 guy. I don't. Maybe I'm wrong. Not that I think that matters a whole lot. I think that, I think we're going to see him excel in the agility style drills.
Absolutely.
And if he, Omar Cooper is one that I want, and I hope he runs the 3-cone, because I think he could have an insane 3-cone. And if he doesn't run the 3-cone, I might be a little I'm not worried, but I'll question a little.
Yeah.
To me, he should be a 3-cone guy. And you see it on the film, his ability to move in and out real quick. And I think that he's going to have a really good 10-yard split, as well. So I think that's what matters. I really want to see him run his 3-cone. I want to see every wide receiver run 3-cone, but we know that doesn't happen. That's actually something else. Cooper Kupp, I believe, was one of the better 3-cones, right? Did he run a 3-cone?
I believe so. Let me look it up, because that's not always on mock draftable. But let me check there first.
He had a 6.75 3-cone drill,
which is very good,
which is insane. I remember really liking him as a prospect, and even back then, I was kind of in tune with the 3-cone drill. This is before it became major. This is the drill for wide receiver. I'd kind of caught on to it in my dynasty leagues by paying attention to stuff, and Cooper Kupp popped for everything I was doing, and I'm that guy is insanely yes, he was a 4th round pick, right? He was 4th, I think
third, late third. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, basically the same thing. Not the same thing, but for draft capital reasons, kind of the same thing.
Yeah, and just to give an example, JSN did run the 3-cone a couple years ago, 6.57. That's 96th percentile.
Yeah, and I think Omar could get around the Cooper Kupp time.
Yeah.
And what's weird about the 3-cone is it's not even the short guys that do great at it. Well, it's kind of weird that some of the lankier guys, the taller, thicker guys, kind of do 3-cone better. And they're it's the guy with the best change of direction and body control, right?
Exactly.
And body control is probably the most important thing for wide receivers. And that is one thing that I think Cooper has, and I think the 3-cone is a way to kind of prove that, intermixed with burst speed, out of breaks. So I hope he runs the 3-cone, and if he does, I think he kills it, and I think that solidifies him as a late 1st, early 2nd, if that happens. And if he runs it and gets over a 7, honestly, anything under 7.1 is fine, right? Like I do think that he may not be a top. Like he probably goes in the third round at that point. It's maybe, but I do think that if he's under 7, like he's almost a lock to be top 40 picks.
Oh yeah, no, I think that'd be very strong for him. And especially at his size, like, and I do want to see his size. You know, but I think if he runs a good 40 time, good 3-cone, has good jumps, that's really big for him because it does help to show his inside outside versatility, and just be like kind of like a faster Debo, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Anything else you want to touch on with him?
No.
Do you want to touch on at wide receiver? Like who else has a like?
So, I mean, I'm very interested in Malachi Fields, what he runs. You know, I think he showed this year he can be a vertical
Like 6'4", 222. Like if he comes in at 6'4", 222 and has a solid 40, like it's going to be fights for him.
Oh, for sure, because he showed enough of a flash with that this past, and yeah, I want to make sure those numbers are legit. They seem legit. Well, I mean, he was at the Senior Bowl, so I think we know the height, weight pretty well. But if he runs well, and also again the jumps, I don't expect him to do like a 3-cone, but
Right.
the other thing is like go more natural hands. That would be a big thing for him.
Yeah, and I know contested catch is like not over the last 2 years. So like for his size and weight, like you want that to be more dominant at the college level for sure. Now, and there's a player I'm going to talk about later that like I would say that maybe it was coaching that is the reason why they didn't have some stuff like, and I don't know much, like it's just a lower class school, right? Like, so Notre Dame has top end coaches probably, right? Like they generally have higher end coaching. So I would say that like Fields was taught correctly how to do things, most likely. Like I don't know the college coaches, but like Notre Dame is pretty good usually, right?
Yeah, no.
So like you're going to guess that their coaches are pretty good. So I do think that if he has an awesome combine though, he could solidify himself at Buffalo if Boston goes before then. And I think that he would be basically the perfect style of player for Josh Allen and Shakir on the with Kincaid in the middle. Like I think that size is something they need.
Yeah, I mean, I think they absolutely could utilize that kind of true, like Ken Coleman.
Right.
He's pretending to be like he's more of a slot, and
he should have always been a slot.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that position is well covered, and was even more well covered when they went and signed Curtis Samuel.
Yeah, I'm gonna say hi to Pig 76 here. First time I've seen you here. Thanks for popping in. But yeah, he says big X's will have a high bust rate. They really do. Like, and they're the hardest to find in the league. That's why Boston's like a locked in. And like if Fields has a good combine, I think he might secure himself into round 1 pretty easily.
Yeah, no, it's not out of the possibility because teams are at that point looking for a certain thing. And 49ers, who we just talked about, like maybe they're in the Mike Evans department, but if Evans stays in Tampa, teams like Buffalo, 49ers, now 49ers I think can be more versatile because Ricky Pearsall can be versatile.
Right.
But they could look for more of a slot guy. They could look more for a deep threat guy. They like a Casey Concepcion. They could look for a big physical X. So no, I tend to agree. I think like the comment said, like teams would keep taking shots at those kind of guys, and a lot of times they try and force other guys into that role that just don't have the natural skill set.
Yeah. So, what are you looking for from him, specifically at the combine? Like, once again, a good gauntlet drill. Like,
Yeah, yeah, I think that because we see the highlight catches from Malachi Fields, but the consistency is what I'm looking for.
oh, so I noticed he had really good like control, like being able to box people out. Like
Mhm.
when he and supposedly he absolutely destroyed the Senior Bowl, like at every level. And
Yeah,
that's kind of weird that like to me, like looking at the contested catches and stuff, because like they said that he just like towered over everybody and was dominant. Uh maybe the contested catch stuff was more of a bad quarterback play, but I don't know.
I think some of the issue with contested catch stuff in college becomes, A, you have to have a guy there to contest it, and then
Yeah.
B, it's then ball placement because it's a very
Yeah.
broad anything in the it could be underthrown and it still counts as a contested catch. And it's like that's not on you, that's on the quarterback.
Right.
So there can be a lot of nuance to that.
Yeah, for
I think
sure, for sure.
yeah, and that's why I try to look at overall picture in terms of that. And same thing with like missed tackles because the other thing, particularly for like some of these outside X's, they're not they're not trying to make guys miss. Like
Right. Right. Well, they don't have the opportunity because like missed tackles force versus like A dot should
yeah,
be like I haven't seen anybody use that like as a statistic, but I kind of think that that's kind of what like it should be weight like your missed tackles force should be weighted by the A
yeah,
dot somehow. Like I maybe I'll do that next year or something. Because I think that that makes a lot more sense to have like even for the pros like if you're catching the ball 40 yards downfield, you've either ran past somebody or somebody's right on you.
yeah,
And like it's hard to make like if somebody's on you as you're catching the ball, it's really hard to get away after the catch. Uh and if you do, well, you're only making one guy miss like ever.
Well, and also on vertical passing, you're more likely having to adjust to the ball. Rarely it's a perfect pass. So
Yeah.
that's slowing you down. That's potentially doing things. And in college, if you leave your feet and you don't even have the opportunity to get up and once your knee's down, you're down. So you don't even have those kind of like, and those are more rare situations for sure. But for instance, we kind of skipped over him, but like Jordan Tyson, how many times does he have to like dive for a ball because
Yeah.
it's so off target? And sometimes he's still wide open, but he can't even get up and run afterwards because he's just down.
Yeah, and speaking of guys like Ted Hurst is the other guy. Like I kind of put him and Malachi Fields kind of in the same bucket of what we want to look for, right?
Hmm.
Uh and Hurst is the guy I was mentioning earlier that like I don't know how good the Georgia State coaching is. I have no idea,
Yeah.
but I'm going to assume that the Notre Dame coaching is better. And Ted Hurst is kind of raw when you watch him.
Hmm.
Uh I think if he gets to the NFL and gets some elite coaching, like he could like I think he has such an ability to or a possibility to get taught into a really good receiver. And I do like Ted like for dynasty, I think I like Ted Hurst a lot. And I do wonder a little more for like this year. Like and we'll see. Like I think like he's to me he's like Isaac Tesla from last year. Like he could be that kind of guy. And if he doesn't go to an offense that's insanely stacked, I think that he could be semi-productive this year, but down the line could be insanely strong.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm like, I think he's a very intriguing prospect. I do worry about his ability to produce as a rookie, coming from the Georgia State program. Um, it's going to be
right.
a big jump. I mean, I know
Yeah.
they played, you know, a couple good schools every year, non-conference, and there's a couple schools in their conference that are pretty solid, but it's just a consistent, level of play, week in, week out. It's not the same when you're just dunking on Coastal Carolina, you know,
Right.
in South Alabama, you know.
What's wrong with Tyler Thigpen? Like my boy. uh, I think he was Coastal Carolina. Um,
Sounds
but
right, but I can't
yeah.
remember.
All right. So, by the way, we're going to get to tight ends after this, and Stower's definitely a guy I'm going to talk about. Anybody else here specifically? Like we kind of glossed over Fields, and Ted Hurst is going to destroy the combine. Like I think we all know that. I'm curious. Like he's a guy that I wonder how the interviews and stuff are going to go, or if we're going to hear anything, or like are the coaches on the field going to have to tell him how to do things multiple times, right? Like being from a smaller school, probably not. But it looked like he only ran a couple different routes from the limited stuff I watched of him.
Yeah. Yeah, I think just one guy, and he's kind of like we talked about a few of them already, slot only, is Antonio Williams from Clemson. Very productive. I think he's like a 3rd round pick, maybe 4th round, but kind of a slot only guy. So I think he just has to do well, hit certain benchmarks in the athletic drills, but he has to show just natural route running, catching ability. But the guy I'm probably more interested in is, for me personally, and you mentioned him a little bit earlier, is Eric McAllister from TCU, because his size is very enticing.
Wrong one. By the way, Pig, we already went over Bryce Lance. We had a pretty long conversation on him. Just so you're aware, you could go back and watch or whatever as well. So go ahead.
So yeah, I mean McAllister, 3 straight years of production. This last year, kind of really becomes the one, and his listed weight is what, 6'3", 215, and he seems like he's in that ballpark. I don't think that's really manufactured. And we see vertical ability. We see I see pretty natural catching ability. So not a perfect prospect, but to me, there's just a lot of upside here.
He's one there's 2 guys I haven't watched yet that I should have watched, and it's him and Brendan Thompson.
Okay.
I need to do that tonight, actually. But I don't feel like they're going to be first rounders. I just haven't got to them yet.
No, definitely not.
And I don't think that they're because we're big into best ball, and we have time to look for dynasty stuff and post draft stuff. And I think it'd be really hard for McAllister to end up making my best ball draftable list.
Yeah,
based on what I've seen, and same with Brendan Thompson. Although Brendan Thompson is a guy with that kind of speed, he could just spike whenever. So, but I do think that if after the combine, if either one of these guys absolutely destroy it, I'm willing to move anybody up. This TCU thing up here, though, it does worry me because I was in on both Savion and Jack Bech last year. Not worried about the TCU negativity that has came out over the years, and it bit me. Not gonna lie. We haven't covered Barry and Brown.
He, McAllister is a little different. I think he's faster than Bech. More can play inside outside. He did a little slot, but he's more of an outside receiver. Just at that size with some vertical ability, that's always going to interest me. And we just saw a nice jump in his production this year.
Yeah, I need to look into it because he crushed 2023.
Well, that's somebody else. That's not McAllister. That's Brendan Thompson.
Yeah. I thought you. My bad. I thought you went back, but
no.
I need to look at that though. But yeah, these 2 I definitely need to watch a little more of. I haven't done them due diligence yet. I've also to be honest with you on Barry and Brown, I only finally he didn't make the 36 wide receivers I had initially. And I just found out about him about 3 days ago, and I haven't made it to him either. But apparently he's supposed to be like the only other person that could beat like Brendan Thompson in the 40.
Yeah, he can fly.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, like that. I mean, it's hard to throw the ball when you have no time. Like it's
And I mean, that
like,
offense was just a mess last
yeah.
year. You know,
Well, like the whole Chip Kelly supposedly calling plays that they didn't even install. Like,
yeah,
and
like
then
what is going on?
you would watch him because we reviewed every single game for the first 12 weeks, every
Mhm.
single game, and we were consistently like, oh, what are they trying to do? And then that came out. It's like, oh well, they didn't know. That's
Yeah,
that's
literally
why
nobody knew.
that yeah. They're like, I guess like out there with a stick, like I guess we just do this. Just like talk about getting set up to fail, right? Like,
Oh, for sure.
um, uh, let's touch on him. If he doesn't have a good combine, he's going to be a 6th or 7th round pick.
Yeah.
Uh, and like even if he has a good combine, and we're talking everything, I think he has to kill everything. I do think he gets drafted almost no matter what, but like it is so. I think he's going to just be off a lot of teams' boards because of how inconsistent he is. And I think the other teams, like if he has a solid combine, like I really don't think he's going to get very good draft capital, even with a good combine. But I might be biased there as well.
Well, I think the reason he needs a big combine is I mean, he is as unrefined as a receiver that you'll find in this class. I do give him credit for going down to the Senior Bowl, working out there. It's not like he massively shown out or anything, but that kind of level of, because part of the question with him is like, is this guy focused? Is he, even trying? I mean, that's what he needs to do. But
Yeah.
yeah, we now need to see that these athletic gifts are actually there. Because if it
Right.
was a little smoke and mirrors at USC, then that's a problem.
Well, and like from what I've seen and what I've heard from other people as well. Like, so what I've seen and what I've heard from like multiple sources, like the Fantasy Points people and the PFF people, both fully agree that he doesn't even try to run routes. He just
Yeah.
like, hey, give me a contested catch. And then he's not good at it. So like if you're not going to try to run routes, you're not going to try to improve your game, like why would any coach want to try to work with you if you've
Mhm.
even at the college level, you're like, no, I want to do this. And then you're not actually elite at the one thing you want to do. Like it would be something else if he was absolutely like he makes the best highlight catches out there, but everything else is bad.
Yeah.
So like, and if you're not willing to like try to change your game up, and maybe he doesn't have the ability to do that, which is its own problem. And if he's too stubborn to do it, that's another problem. Like neither one are good. Like so I personally think he's not going to get very much capital or anything. I could be wrong, but I I'm pretty out on Jacoby Lane just altogether myself.
Yeah, it's definitely something like it's concerning. I think a lot of these guys that we're mentioning, and sure, some are more like slot only guys or Brendan Thompson speed guys, but if these guys start jumping them, then it's like how much, like for instance, the guy you mentioned, Bryce Lance, currently he's listed lower than him
Yeah.
in this, but if Lance has those good athletic measurables, then yeah, I think teams are going to be like, okay, I can work with that.
Like if they go to the combine and Bryce Lance and Jacoby Lane like have the same exact measurables, let's say they're both 4.38, they both have a 40-inch vertical or whatever, and they both have a 10-foot, like a 9-foot broad jump or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, which player is the like? Are they like which player do you think the NFL teams are going for if they have the exact same statistical profile? I think most teams are going to go with the guy number one who's on winning teams, and number two like has NFL bloodlines. Number three like he at least tried all the other stuff. He may
Yeah.
be unpolished at it, but like he tried to do multiple different style of route stuff. I think the NFL teams would lean towards Lance over Lane myself.
Yeah, I think it becomes quite the decision for those teams, and
Yeah.
I think you're potentially right that a lot of teams will just believe that Lance is more,
Coachable?
we can get to the NFL level standards quicker than Lane.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at there, because like I said, I have Bryce Lance way higher than most, but I'm very worried about, like, if he does run the 4.5 whatever that like NFL Draft Buzz has him at, it's not good for him. But like, if he runs in the low 4.4s, even in the high 4.3s, we're talking now. Like, we're really talking about something that could be special, like fun, not special, but like something that could be Christian Watson-esque, like to a lesser degree. Like,
Mhm.
but yeah, I think those are all. That's all I have here to talk about.
Yeah.
I don't have much to say on Barry and Brown that Pigs was talking about.
Yeah, I think these LSU receivers, there's a lot of athletic ability there. Aaron Anderson also, maybe all three of them get drafted, but I think they're all day three, not really in the fantasy space, as rookies.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. We're mostly just covering people who we think need to have a great combine.
I mean, I think
specifically.
Dan
Yeah.
Burks will have a big combine,
Yeah.
and he absolutely needs it because his actual production is pretty awful. So
Yeah. So yeah, I didn't love him.
Yeah.
Steve Smith Sr. has him in his top 10, but he doesn't have either one of the Indiana wide receivers in the top 10, which is interesting to me, like very interesting.
Yeah.
So you ready to move on to tight
Mhm.
ends? All right, let's move on to tight ends. We will, this probably be pretty quick.
Yeah.
Let's just start with the obvious, Kenyon Sadiq. Like, he's supposed to be a special athlete. That is why he's getting the buzz he's getting, right? That's why he's supposed to be a first round. And he absolutely needs to, because you've mentioned the freaks list several times.
Mhm.
And Biggs was just mentioning Eli Stowers. Well, Eli Stowers is absolutely going to destroy the combine.
Yeah.
Like, that is something that is going to happen. And Sadiq might not have to might not even have to compete with his numbers, but he's got to like be within reason of those numbers as well. Like, Sadiq could easily be taken over from the tight end one if he has a bad combine by like, I didn't realize how physically gifted Stowers was until like my initial rankings and stuff, where I had Trigg like as my possible tight end too, depending on combine and landing spot and all that. Like, I do think I'm kind of just Stowers too now.
Mhm.
After a little more research. And I do think that Stowers has a chance to go to one over Sadiq if Sadiq doesn't have a good combine.
Yeah, I mean, I think Sadiq needs to have a good combine. It's they're both freaks list guys, so I expect both of them to be very athletically gifted. I think Sadiq is, Stowers is just a more natural receiver, and has a quarterback background also, which also shows in how he works his way back to the quarterback. He's very good at that. Sadiq, I think, just needs to prove that he has this athletic ability. But I actually think the pass catching drills are going to be very important to him because one, he was, behind Ferguson last year, and then Dante Moore. I know some people have had him as quarterback too. It's not like this was a great passing offense, the Oregon Ducks. Like, it's a good college offense, but it's not like, high level passing offense. So Sadiq didn't always have great opportunities to show as a receiver in college.
No,
I would
he
like
didn't.
to see. I would like to see him just look crisp and clean in all the pass catching drills. That is going to be so important to him. He definitely needs to meet the workout threshold numbers, and also for some, not just meet them, but he does need to exceed them.
He
Does he
needs to
need
be
to
what,
be?
like in the 80 percentile, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
something
does he
like
need to
that.
be
Yeah,
the fastest 40 time we've seen? No, of course not. But you don't want him to be.
yeah,
And Gunnar Helm, he was also like had that twisted ankle, but you don't want him to go run a 4.8. You know.
yeah. And Gunnar Helm's twisted ankle was believable, unlike Restrepo's.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, no, I was hurt. Well, then why did you run it? Like, uh, but yeah. So, and then like touch on Stowers as well. Like, I think these two are very connected, and like, wasn't it that he ran track? Like Stowers ran some sort of track or something? Like,
I believe so.
or
I mean, he was a dual threat quarterback coming out.
yeah,
Uh,
like which is crazy. Like
yeah.
the fact that he's a elite type, like probably he's almost for sure going to go in the second round, right?
Oh, I think so. I'd be shocked if he doesn't.
Yeah, and like everybody was talking about Tyler Warren being this dual threat. Like Stowers could really do it, like as well, if they really wanted.
Yeah. Yeah. I no, I think Stowers, we've seen 3 years of production, including the last year, 2 at Vanderbilt. So in the SEC, he's got a clear connection with Pavia. But I like the way that he works back to the quarterback. He just finds open holes in the zone. Good route runner, good speed. Very athletically gifted. So I'm expecting a good performance by him for sure.
Yeah, and like so, one thing I didn't uncover the quarterback stuff before my initial rank, and I uncovered it later. And like to me, that is huge. That's actually something I think Travis Kelsey had that too, right? Travis Kelsey played, I think, was a high school quarterback.
I think he might have been a high school quarterback. Yeah.
And like, I kind of think that tight ends that understand the game at that level is a huge plus.
Mm-hmm.
So like because they're in the middle of the field. So if they understand how to read the defense, they can easily spot the holes in the zone. And like to me, that is gigantic, especially for a tight end. So I really like I went from having Trigg tight end 2 to maybe having Stowers tight end 1. Like that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah.
And like I think that's a really big thing. And I think that if he tests really well, I think we're going to see him go top 50-ish for sure. And then I'm just going to talk like this guy, like of all the tight ends, like Sadiq absolutely needs one, but there's nobody who requires a combine more than Michael Trigg. If he isn't a 95 percentile athlete at that position, he's not going to like his whole thing is gone. Like he has to be a height, weight, speed, absolute monster. He has to have insane, and I fully expect it. Like I fully expect him to like have an insane, like a Theo Johnson Rass. Like that's kind of where
that'd be very ideal for him, of course.
Yeah. Just towers of powers.
The other thing I'd point to him, I actually want to see how he catches the ball, because he's another guy. He will have some of the best, kind of like a Jacoby Lane, like some of the best highlights you will see. But then you look at the full body of work and you see drop, or you see him, like stop on a route, because clearly like the ball was not going to him and he's just not running a route hard. So it's stuff like that. Like, let's see him show the work ethic. Let's see him like look clean catching the ball. That's kind of stuff I want to see from him.
Yeah, I agree. But I wanted to shout that out because it's very, very important for Michael Trigg to like hit the RAS. Like he has to have a high RAS, and like he also needs to show the things you were talking about. Anything else here at tight end?
Well, the one thing I do want to point to is the 40 time for the guys we talked about. Sure, it's important, but really like don't fail. It's more like a
Yeah,
pass fail than a
exactly. I agree. And
because
yeah,
well, I
so
was just
like
gonna
for wide
say,
receivers, like the 10-yard split, like a lot of these positions, the 10-yard split is more important. And so have you seen the recent wide receiver comparisons to hand size?
not sure if I
You
have.
should look into the wide receiver hand size versus like success rate stuff.
Okay.
Like that's something PFF has been talking about. Like, because I listen to a lot of their shows, and I've looked into it a little bit, and it feels pretty accurate. Like basically, there's a threshold that like if you're over, like you just have mitts and you're just going to catch everything. And
Mhm.
then there's a point that if it's under, like those are the people who continually have drops. So like I forgot to mention it earlier, but like if Concepcion has really small hands, like if it's like I forget the number, I think it's like 9 3/4 or something. Uh, that's really bad because that means that the drops may just be something like the size of the ball is too much for him to consistently catch it. Like, uh, so that is something else that I'm going to do some more research in. I'm going to like try to track it and look back on it a little bit over the last couple of years. Like just go to NFL.com and like look at who's been successful, who's had a lot of drops and stuff like that, and look into that a little more. But it is something. Okay, so that is not the correct number. Like I don't remember what the number was. I was thinking 10 inches like crazy big. Uh,
That's pretty big, yeah.
yeah, and like anything over like 9 is like good. And then
Yeah, I mean,
I forget what the gaps are, but yeah,
you might be right on that, but there's always going to be
there's always
exceptions,
outliers. Yeah.
and also like this is a little less for um, tight ends because I think there's question marks about everyone, I think, kind of except for Stowers. But like Harold Fannin last year did not look good in anything. Um, I just brought up his mock draftable. This is his percentile height, 6'3 1/4, 23rd percentile weight, 241, 9th percentile. Wingspan, 57 percentile, 79 1/4, arm length, 32 1/4, 21 percentile, hand size, 9 1/4, 11th percentile, 40 time, 4.71, 65 percentile, broad jump, 67 percentile, 118. And the only thing he was good in was 3 cone and 10-yard split. He was
I mean,
87
3 cone,
percentile
that's
in 10-yard and 82 percentile in 3 cone.
I mean, 3 cone is the drill. Like
Yeah.
I still think every prospect should have to do every single drill if they show up. And I don't think there should be an exception. Like
I mean, it'd
I
be
don't
fun.
care.
It'd make it easier to compare these guys for sure.
I mean, like it's like going to a party and then just sitting on the sofa the whole time and not talking to anybody. What's the difference? There's no difference. Like you're not actually there to do anything. You're just there to like act like you matter, like act
Yeah.
like you're part of the thing. Like
Yeah.
like accepting a party invite just because you got invited. Like what's the point? You know? Uh like but anyway, somebody was asking, Stephen WC was asking if we plan on doing something after the combine to like see winners and losers. I mean, I'm up for something like that.
Yeah.
I kind of think that that's something like get like multiple people together for that. Like, I think that that would be more of a, if we want to get for like, we could do it over a fan speak as well. Like, just do like you, me, a couple other people, and kind of like see if our biases were right. Like, if we've changed our mind, if we're being stubborn. I'm sure there'll be a little bit of all of it everywhere. you know?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
But
like, I like, there are some things that could happen with Emmett Johnson for me to change my mind, but I feel like those it's really crazy.
yeah,
Marvin
I'm
Klein,
kind of the same way. Like he's gonna have to run real bad or just look real
yeah.
bad for me to be out.
Uh, I wasn't really a big fan of Marvin Klein myself. I just didn't think he looked fantastic at anything. I don't think he's going to get draft capital. I think that he could be fine. I think that he's going to be looked at more of a blocking guy. Maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, I think there's a little upside to his game, but I think it's, the quarterback play has been so bad since JJ McCarthy left, which also tells you like how bad we're talking about here. But I think, these tight ends in the 4th, 5th round, 6th round, like A, rarely do they pop as rookies, and B, like AJ Barner is one of the few exceptions in recent years as like a day 3 guy who produced early in his career. So
Am I spelling this incorrectly or what?
What's that?
Am I spelling Marvin Klein incorrectly?
It's Marlon.
Marlon. That would be why. Yeah. I just like last year, I thought it was Marcus Yams, not Marcus Yarns. Like, I don't know. Like, I totally got that wrong. Okay, well, it's not. I don't know. I don't know why it didn't pop up. I don't know why it brought this one up, but oh well. There we go. Yeah, it doesn't have anything else. It just snaps by position for him, unless I'm looking at something wrong.
I mean, he had a couple hundred yards receiving. That's about it.
I mean, I have the stats on my personal sheet. So they obviously are somewhere. I was just wanting to look at like inline rate versus like that stuff. Marlon Klein is German. I think he's okay. So he's only played for a bit then, probably. Yeah. And like players Pigs, Steve and I are mostly best ball players, and we're not really looking for like the dynasty aspect of like year 3 breakouts and stuff. And players like that are players who will probably be a lot bigger for the 3rd year breakout stuff, right? Like,
exactly.
So like, it's not that I don't like them, but like I'm crossing off players who probably won't have an impact this year because the contests I'm playing in they end this year. So like I'm looking more for somebody like that. Maybe in the future, I like probably hopefully next year I start doing dynasty stuff as well. I would like to, but I'm by myself and it's a lot of work. Also working full time to do that.
And Pigs does mention like Klein. I did know he's on Bruce Feldman's freaks list. So and there's a athletic profile there. I just don't expect much from him as a rookie.
Right.
I think he'll have a tough time getting on the field as a rookie, where even guys like Sam Roush and Justin Jolly could get on the field more. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And like AJ Barner, like it took him 2 years or 3 years to get on the field, right? Like it was the third year?
No, this is the second year.
The second year, yeah, okay. Yeah. But like the first one, he didn't really, and like the Michigan pipeline is real for sure. But anyway, I'm getting ready to go draft some best ball over on the other channel. Like, if there's anything else you wanted to discuss, we could finish it up. Go ahead and tell everybody where you are. I have all of his information in the descriptions below, but go ahead and let everybody know.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at SteveOSpeak. You can find me on YouTube in the FanSpeak Network. Just did a show earlier. I'm going to do one tomorrow. I'm doing one just about every day now. Also do shows with my sister. We'll have our sibling showdown Thursday night. Those are always fun and entertaining for a multitude of reasons. Yeah. But we cover best ball, DFS, sports betting, the whole 9 yards. Also on our Substack, FanSpeak DGen Substack. So appreciate all the support, and these are fun to do, these videos breaking down stuff with you. So I've enjoyed this. This is our second one doing this in this big board era, and I'm excited to continue to do these.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. I'm glad to have you on. I will be live on this channel again here in just 5 minutes at this link. I know you've already streamed for a while. If you want to jump over and draft some teams, you can jump on too. Just send me a message and I'll send you the link. I assume you want to relax for a while because you've been
live. I'm probably going to take a break, but I appreciate that.
You've been live for 4 hours. So,
yeah.
But there you go. And thanks, everybody. I'll see everybody here shortly. Peace.
Hey, we're grinding through the torment. High volume, no management. Taming souls in descent. Grinding drafts through the abyss, no rest in our veins. Feel striking like lightning, flooding endless pains. From late season voids, he's dropping all the flames. Best ball legions unite, shattering the chains. Old school RP stacking fury, derailing trendy trains. Who is commanding the storm edge?